Hi, Dr. Smith. I'm David Lyon. I'm currently in your Human Services 508 class. Tonight I will be discussing my interpersonal communication project. The overview for this brief is the introduction, defining and enlarging the conversation, overarching goals, personal influences of conversation, barriers in my interpersonal context, noise pollution, my plan of action, and references. As I stated, I'd like to start off with who I am before we get started with the entire presentation. I'm active duty military and currently work at Peterson Air Force Base. I'm married to my beautiful wife Dana. I have no kids right now. In the future they're planned, but we have a little puppy who's like a kid at times. I'm studying for my degree in human services with a concentration in executive leadership. The goal of this is, as a leader in the Air Force, I believe I can have a profound impact on my airmen and my peers I work with to empower them, to motivate them, and have better communication. To define enlarging the conversation, I'd first like to start off with the definition of conversation. According to Stewart, 2009, conversation is verbal and nonverbal exchange in real time, either face-to-face or mediated to be some electronic medium, i.e. a computer or a cell phone. For me, defining enlarging the conversation entitles basically working on my interpersonal communication style weaknesses to better and further my communication. The overarching goal that I've discovered for this class is to strengthen my weaknesses according to my interpersonal communication style. Some of my weaknesses can be seen as people don't always know how to read me. Actions conflict with my decision making. For example, I may be happy-go-lucky with someone and have a decision at another point and people don't know where I'm coming from. I don't always weigh the consequences completely, or I weigh them too much and wait too long to make a decision. I have a lack of enthusiasm and planning at times, which can be an issue for any leadership scenario. Trait of my style are, I don't always respond well to cheerleading. Sometimes, again, I need to be more expressive when I speak and also speak out. I need to also be more investigative and inquiring when I talk to people so they know that I'm engaged in the conversation. Again, I can be unemotional at times, which can throw people off when I'm talking to them because they don't know if I'm actually listening to them or engaged in the conversation. I can be difficult to follow with my decisions because I don't always explain how I came to making that decision. I can be very stubborn at times when trying to be convinced to do something or not to do something. I'm very strong-willed and can be demanding or seen as illogical in my decision-making at times. I can negatively influence others by my natural gentleness and unguarded spirit. I'm slow and easy at times, which can be frustrating to others again as I don't come to a decision as quickly as they would like. My personality versus my desires can be conflicting at times as I can send mixed emotions, whereas I can be happy with someone, very personable, but my desires are not necessarily in the right place. Personal influences I have that affect my conversation positively are I'm firm, I'm positive when I come to a decision, but I'm also willing to listen to others and hear what they have to say and change my mind. I'm willing to move forward quickly at times, but also hang back when more work needs to be done on the decision. I'm respected for being fair and balanced. I know when to speak and when to be quiet. The old saying goes, and I stick to this, if you don't have anything good to say, then don't say anything at all. I'm confident, yet humble and caring. Negative influences that I have, again, are lack of enthusiasm and excitement. I have a very country lifestyle. I'm slow, I'm steady at times, and I'm not as quickly moving as I should be. Again, I'm stubborn, I'm an introvert, so I don't like to be outspoken very much, and I do not always share my problems. To me, they're internal, they're mine, they're no one else's. Barriers in my interpersonal context are people don't always know how to read me. Sometimes I'm too concise, and my actions are not warranted. I wait too long to make decisions sometimes, but yet I have confidence in my decisions. I do not show emotion or enthusiasm. Sometimes I should show emotion and mean to show it, not just to put on a show. I need to surprise people by my enthusiasm to overcome these barriers. Noise pollution can be defined as any sound, constant or occasional, that creates a disturbance in our thinking or the conversation. It distracts us from what is being said and can ruin the conversation if we do not pay attention. Internal noise pollution can be seen as fidgeting while in a conversation. So if I'm sitting here just fidgeting, not looking at you, not having eye contact, moving objects that make noise in the conversation, like clicking a pen or rustling my feet, rustling some furniture, and then also thinking about other things internally and not having my mind in the right place when listening to someone. I also view internal noise pollution as when Satan has a time to come in and to take hold of the conversation, make us distracted, subject us to sin, and we internally think about that, not what is being said. External noise pollution can be seen as construction work, airplanes, traffic, anything that was really outside of your control but does cause a distraction in the conversation. Some things you can do to overcome noise pollution, external and internal, are either move to a quieter setting, make sure you're focused on the task at hand, make sure you have something that's not distracting but could possibly occupy your time. For example, using hand motions when you're talking. The plan of action that I have for overcoming my weaknesses is as simple as loving my brother and my sister. This can be emulated in 1 John 3:14 through 15. We know that we have passed from death to life because we love one another. Anyone who does not love remains in death. Anyone who hates a brother or sister is a murderer, and you know that no murderer has eternal life residing in him. So some couple things from this. True love equals no judgment in the conversation. It frees us from prejudices when we're listening to people. It also clears our mind, our heart, and our spirit. Other things I can do are show enthusiasm in conversation so people know that I'm actually listening and that I have active listening when I'm in the conversation. I do not need to shut down or get frustrated, because I know at times when I do get frustrated, I shut down and I do not communicate. Just need to be plain and simple for me. Just need to make sure that I'm open in the conversation. I need to know when to be velvet, when to be steel, which is a characteristic of my SD, interpersonal communication style. I need to be more outspoken and confident, less reserved. Sometimes I even need to be a cheerleader, which for me can be a struggle. Ultimately, get out of my comfort conversation shell. Finally, things that I can do for a plan of action are incorporate more active listening techniques when I'm in a conversation. The first thing is to acknowledge. I know with this, I make sure that I'm actually listening to someone, eye contact, and I acknowledge what they're saying. Repeat accurately what they're saying, as I can sometimes delude or misconstrue what they're saying. I need to decode what they're saying, use pair of feeling, and play detective at times to get a little deeper to show that I'm interested. Allow space, but not too much space, and own my own feelings and not act like they're the other person's feelings. Dr. Smith, I hope you enjoyed my presentation tonight. I know this project in this class has helped me in leaps and bounds discover and strengthen my communication style as I go down the road as a husband, as a father, as a military leader, and ultimately in conversation with everyday people. Thank you.